and welcome back to the TackleShare YouTube channel. Today Nick and I are out on the water. We have some fishing kayaks and we're going to show you a couple of, well, this video is actually going to be about one of my favorite lures that actually really got me hooked on fishing. We're going to do a video about the Skitter pop. It's a Rapala topwater lure. Pardon the shot here. So we had a couple that I asked Rapala to send us a couple and they sure did deliver. So we have the live frog Skitter pop, a Firetiger, and this one, I can't remember the name of it because I haven't used it yet. So it is just good old frog. So we're gonna do a little bit of topwater fishing today. All right, so here's that Skitter pop that it is near and dear to my heart just because I'm a little bit attached to it, but it's also a confidence bait that I tend to use some of the first times I get out. I haven't used this live frog pattern on it, so I can't wait to give it a go. Now typically topwaters you really like to use on calm days. The wind's already starting to kick up a little bit. You get a bit of ripples here, but I've cast it out and you may not be able to see in the video here, but I'm giving you a couple little quick, oh, I think there's something there. Generally you like to fish whenever you can, but if I'm going to invest time wisely, I'm going to try and get out early morning if I'm topwater fishing. And I've already scared probably 3 or 4 fish just paddling over here. We just got off the boat launch and trying to get away from this bridge here because it's a little bit loud, but we're going to try and cast out. I can hear the fish snapping in the lily pads over here. So that's where I'm probably headed. I got one on. I didn't have my camera turned on when it hit the top water, but here it comes. Don't think it's a big one, but it feels like a largemouth. Does not always going to get himself into the weeds here. Or it is a largemouth. Ugh. And some salad. Some largemouth and salad alongside it. Whoops. Oh. Should wet my hand a little bit before I touch him. But I want to get this treble hook out of here as soon as possible. Really took a hammered on the side of that. There we go. There's my first fish of the day on that live patterned nice little largie. We're gonna throw him back though. So I was just reeling in, I just had a fish smack on top of this, and then I think he realized I was here. I was just reeling it in to cast to do a little bit more instruction, and there you go. He hit directly right beside the boat. But anyways, so typically when I do this, I was just explaining to Nick that I like to do it in an area. Now the water's a bit ripply now because Nick just went through to get ahead of me here, but I like to cast out into an area that's pretty still. And we're here out early in the morning because there's generally less wind. And I'm gonna cast out here. And I've done it along the edge of this weed bed here because I know that the fish are not gonna be swimming directly through, that these weeds are pretty matted. Oh, something getting hit my water. These weeds are pretty matted. It's not just lily pads, it's some thick weeds. So they're not really gonna be swimming directly through the main mesh of the weeds. So they're gonna try and come on the outside. So this lure is supposed to mimic a dying frog, or it's supposed to mimic a dying frog or something that's under distress. So every now and again I let it stay still and then I move it just ever so lightly. You might not be able to see in the video here. Ever so lightly I just move it a little bit, just a little twitch, because that's what a fish that's not doing so hot will do occasionally if you ever see something that's ashore. But so that's the strategy I'm going to be doing, and that's what I missed recording on that last fish. Let's cast it out again. And sometimes if you ever want to, if you're not getting a lot of bites, you can be a little bit more aggressive with it. I try not to be. I think a lot of the places with a lot of fishing pressure are so used to that, so I try to be a little bit more soft and subtle with it. But if you're not getting any bites, always try something different. Oh, something just hit it. I don't know if you got that on camera. Something just smashed it while I was trying yet again to reel it in. So apparently I need to be probably doing more retrieving than twitching, because I feel like every time I went to retrieve my lure, that's when it's starting to get hit. So I think I'm going to pick up with that strategy. So let me just... So what I really like about these is that they're very, well, this one's very lifelike looking, but I also really like there's some feathers and a bit of shimmer put on the tail end there. So if the bass isn't going to be, you know, putting its mouth directly on the lure like there, it's also going to be getting maybe just the end piece here. And sometimes that is all that you need to land yourself one of these fish. Looks like Nick's caught himself a pretty good fish over there. And salad too. Did it get off?
He shook me.
Ah. So one of the fun things that we're starting to discover when you're recording is that you constantly spend your day looking at how much battery life you have left. Like, we have several different batteries, but it does seem to take up quite a bit of battery life. And I looked over and Nick had just hooked onto a pretty decent sized fish. I think he's licking his wounds right now a little bit, because it dove down. So it took that topwater lure and it dove down and buried itself in the weeds, and just, it's how a lot of fish get caught off or shake themselves off. I know. So what were you doing? We've drifted since, because we're in a bit of a water body that's kind of very slow current. And even though the current's kind of slow, it does drift us quite a bit. So what were you doing?
I buried myself in the weed bed and kind of got settled, and then cast it, and as soon as it hit the water, I always cast and then let it settle, because the fish will scatter for a brief moment and then they'll just come right back to it. And as soon as I was about to press record while I was letting it settle, I feel my line just go, and I heard him jump too, because he came right out of the water and hit it. And then as I was reeling him in, he went, as you said, he went down and then just got all up in the weeds and traded his mouth for a bunch of salad.
And I, of course, couldn't turn my GoPro on quick enough. I just got the very tail end of it, I think. So we're gonna keep at it. Go ahead.
I should have just whipped out my samurai sword of a net and scooped everything.
A whole meal, salad and fish.
Salad and fish, all in one.
All right, I've got this other one here. I couldn't resist. I gotta try each one of them. Oh, there's something about opening a brand new lure package that just, you like it and you don't at the same time. They like the boxes. Okay. Making sure to keep that in my boat. And I'm gonna switch out my lure. There we go. I'm gonna try the new one. So I had more of a, like, they call it like the live frog pattern, and now I'm gonna switch over to this more, let's see, I can't even see in my footage. I had that one, and I'm gonna go over to one that's got a little bit more flash on the tail, a little bit more attention grabbing possibly, and I'm gonna see if I can catch a few more fish. No, I should mention this. You can see very carefully in here in the middle, because the shovel at the front, it's clear and you can see through there. It's actually like a wooden lure, so it's a wooden body that they've painted and put like an acrylic on it or whatnot, which is really good, because if a fish, let's say a pike, comes over and snatches this as well, because pike can hit topwater as well, and punctures into a hollow bodied lure, it essentially is irrelevant and it will start to sink once it takes on water. So lures that with, you know, a wooden body will give you that long-term use if you want to keep using it over and over again, especially if you get a very toothy pike sinking its teeth into that lure. All right, ow. Let's get to cast this one out too. I just changed to that bigger one and it feels more like what I'm used to. It's so funny, you get so used to a lure that you've got confidence in and you use all the time, and this one, I guess, this is the standard size. I sometimes don't pay too much attention to the specific sizes, and I had a smaller one on before, and I'm really noticing a difference in the feel, like on the rod even, so this is giving me way more confidence in what I'm doing. My muscle memory's kicking in here. Yeah, the splashes are way bigger just because it's got a bigger shovel on the front of it there, or a bigger front, and then you can really give it the pop that you're used to doing. And I keep burying it in the weeds, which is not what I'm planning to do, but sometimes that's what happens. And it's really important when you do catch weeds like this that you take them off. And don't just be lazy. Take every little bit off because a fish will notice the littlest little piece on there. So even something like this, and you feel like that may just shake off on its own, you want to take off every last little bit so it does not look peculiar in the water. And then that gives the tail feathers the action they need to move clearly. Oh, I threw it back in directly into some more weeds. Awesome. Keep sinking into these weeds. It must be the current pushing me. That's it. It's the current, not the angler, right? There we go. Let's give it a good look. Nice one. That probably about a pounder, maybe just shy of a pound. Good. Awesome. Is a shorebacker probably.
Okay. Yeah. On the Firetiger. Here's my fish. Pro tip, turn your camera on before you cast so that you can maybe catch the fish on camera.
So I've been fumbling around a little bit more, trying to help Nick, because apparently Nick's catching more fish than me. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but that's what's going on right now. And what was I getting at? Oh, Nick has a new tip for me because I switched to a different lure just to try and get a different angle. And his tip for me now is... So both fish that I've caught, I just cast and then I let it sit, and they both of the big ones have hit while it's sitting still, not moving. So maybe just wait for like 5-10 seconds before you reel it in after you've cast. Which is what I've been doing, to be really honest, but apparently it's working for you a bit better. I found more so that like when I'm frustrated because I'm drifting a little bit. I've been trying to sit myself in the weeds, but when I get frustrated because I'm drifting and then I reel in so I'm not paddling over my line, then I'm getting like little nibbles as I'm reeling in too quickly. So maybe I should just stick to that. But anyways, things you learn when you're out on the water trying to catch some fish. And cast into that path like I was talking about. And we're just gonna cast right in, and I have faith that it is going to catch us a fish first thing. I know it. Saying that and I'm jinxing myself. All right, so I think that's it for our video about, I don't know, I guess like a fishing adventure using skeeter pops. If you like the video, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, because helping us continually bring new content, it really helps us if you're a subscriber, if you turn on notifications, and go ahead and leave us a comment if you have some suggestions or tips or anything that you want to share with any of our other followers. We're gonna change gears now. I've got a tackle box full of gear that we're gonna try, so not change gear, change lures. And we're gonna try some different videos. So stay tuned, we have lots more fishing videos coming, and see you next time. Bye, Nick.